Hey guys, welcome to the second episode of the Dark Coders. Today I'll be showing you data types, their sizes, how to print them, and their names and mathematical operations. Alright, so from the previous episode we have been doing this to print out this pattern. Alright, so let's print it out. This is the solution. Hashtag include studio.h, the header file as usual, then integer main, the main function where we are gonna have our var, and then printf, then don't forget the slash n, and then the same thing. I'm just gonna copy and paste it. It's very simple. Control C, Control V, Control V. Then only thing I have to do is that delete two arrows, and then return 0. Okay, so here you go. I click F9 build, and then I got the pattern. Simple, but problem is that in coding there's something called DRY, that means do not repeat yourself. All right, so it's like we are printing printf, we are using it a multiple time to do the same thing, which is not efficient. So there is, when we go do for loop, you'll get this better, that we can actually write this in single sentence. So that is more. All right, let's start with data types. There are four kinds of data type. First one is integer, int, which stores integer value. Float, that stores decimal value. Double, this also stores decimal value, but I will explain it later. Void, it simply stores nothing. And by the way, if you are want the size of the integer, float, double, and void, then I think you should skip to the end of the video because I actually did it up there. Alright, so these are the data types, right? So first of all, why do we even need a data type? As I said in the beginning, data types, compiler are a bit dumb, right? So we have to actually tell them that what does it do. So let's say, imagine I have a memory, okay? In there, I'm gonna put 5 in it, okay? So I can't just say it like, okay, I'm gonna put 5 in it, or int is equal to 5. Okay, so we have to actually tell them, okay, I'm gonna put an integer value that is gonna have a name, that is number, and then I have to put the 5 value. As it is a statement, I'm gonna end it with a statement, a semicolon. So in other words, I have to tell them that this is a data type that is going to be a number, and where am I going to put them? In the number address, in the number, so that whenever I type num, then they are going to tell me, all right, I'm asking for this value. Simple as that. And one thing, this number, this is called a keyword, in other words known as identifier. Alright, so this one you can actually change it to anything up the way you like it. You can actually put n1 or idk, okay, anything. Like, it's up to you how you want to put it. Alright, next up is in a float, right? So float is something that contain um, decimal value. For example, I just named digit, as I'm gonna put something inside it, and I'm gonna put 0.5. Alright, so float contain decimal value. Now the question is, what happens if I put 0.5 right in integer, right? Okay, when you're gonna do math in coding, problem is that the compiler is just gonna see 0 if you put it under integer. Double. So double is the same thing, okay? It holds integer. It holds decimal point. However, the difference between float and double is that double is more precise. Okay, I'm gonna tell more about double when at the end of the tutorial, when I talk about sizes. All right. Now the last part is void. What is void? Void basically is nothing. It stores nothing. It has no capacity to store anything. I'll tell you guys what a void does in the next episode. When I do function, right now, just know that that's a data type and that's it. It just turns blue when I write it. Okay, now I'm going to show you guys math operations. So to do math operation, I'll just take the integer and then start doing some math stuff. Okay, first of all, to do math stuff, let's say I'm going to make a program, a calculator, that I'm going to take two values and then I'm going to add them. Very simple. So first I have to declare them. Okay, this is called declare, that I have to write uh, I mean any name or identifier. Then I'm going to set that value to 5, and then I am going to take another identifier by placing a comma up here, and then I'm gonna name it as B, and I'm gonna put the value 4 in there. Now I have to sum it up, right? So to sum it up, I need another value or another identifier to put it inside, put the answer inside. So let's say answer, and I have to put something inside it. Okay, so answer is going to be the value of A plus value of B. Okay, so then I got the answer. I mean I got 5 plus 4 inside the value answer. Now I have to print it out. Printf, then percentage %d. Yeah, now this is something else. Press printf. Okay, last time I used to print what? Anything, like imagine I place like that, then whatever going to come out is that thing, right? But now I want is that the answer. So for integer, I have to write percentage %d, and then comma, and then I have to write what I'm gonna put integer in the answer in the printf. So I'm gonna put answer, which is going to go inside percentage %d and show its value. Then I have to write semicolon, and that's it. Then build and run. There, 9. So basically 5 plus 4 is giving me 9. Here it is. Okay, first let's do minus. Then simply I just have to change this to minus, and then I have to go to build and run, and then here you go. I got 1. Okay, 5 minus 4 is equal to 1. Now if I want to change it to multiplication, which is going to be this sign, okay, and then build and run, then here you go. 5 times 4 is 20. It's showing me 20. Now if I want to show division, okay, now here's the tricky part. If I want to show division, 5 divided by 4 is going to give me, how much is that going to give me? I have no idea. I just got my calculator. 5 divided by 4, okay, it's going to give me 1.25. Okay, so the answer is going to be 1.25. Very beautiful number 2. Let's imagine that's 2. Okay, so I told you, right, integer will only get the whole number, so it's just going to give me 1. Let's see. Okay, the answer, yep, there you go. It's just gonna give me 1. So it's not the correct answer because it's actually in decimal, but I wrote an integer. So I have to change that. So let's change that to float. Okay, I'm gonna change that to float. And then now everything is in float, all the data type, and in here they also, the compiler got that that's in float. Problem is in here. Now for integer int, I have to write percentage %d, but if I use float, I'm just gonna have to change that to percentage %f. Simple. So now build and run, and then yep, there you go. The answer is 1.25000. Now if I want to change that 000 to nothing, I memean I want to tell the compiler that I just want up to 2 decimal places, all I have to do is that put the cursor here and add 0.2 or 0.2 to tell them that, yeah, okay, I just want until 2 decimal places. And then one thing is that if you want to add more stuff behind it, like, okay, my answer is equal to this much, then it's just going to show you it exactly like that. There, my answer is equal to this one, and it does not show any more 0 values. Simple as that. Now for the last operand in math, okay, I'm gonna show you guys mod operator, this thing. In other words, percentage sign. Okay, for this sign, it only works on integer, int. So what does this do? What it does is that, yeah, let's say 4 divided by 5, okay, it shows you the remainder. Like 4 divided by 5, I get remainder, which is 1. Okay, so now if I want to do it, then I should get the answer as 1. Let's try it. Build and run. By the way, for build and run, there's a shortcut F9. It's not like always I have to go build and run and then click it. It takes 2 clicks, but in keyboard, like if you press it, it just takes 1 second. Okay, anyway, the answer, yep, I got there. My answer is 1. Okay, so if I actually did the reminder, it is 1. Okay, that's what the mod does. Common question for university. This one, int. They're gonna ask that what is int? Okay, so you're supposed to say it's a data type, yes, but there's another word for it which is known as keywords. Okay, and then for number, there's this one is what the way we call the compiler that what the number I want to put, right? So this is known as identifiers, and this one is known as constant. And the whole thing, all the keyword, identifier, and constant, all of them is known as keywords. One last thing we have to make sure when we're declaring a number inside an identifier is that when we declare this number, it always go from the right side to the left side. Let's say, for example, if I write 5 is equal to num, then problem is it's not gonna go from left side to the right side like normal math. This is not right. This is right. So we always have to declare this way. And this part is going to be about, like, if I write this declaration now to print the number num, then what am I supposed to write in printf function? Printf, then I have to write %d for integer, and then I have to put comma and then number num. Then if I build and run, then I get 5. Very simple, right? Now for the second, I'm gonna slash n, so it's a new line. I'm gonna declare now float. Then I'm going to say number 2, okay, is equal to, I'm just gonna name that, and then I'm gonna declare it as 7. Now I'm gonna printf, right? The difference in this data, two different kind of data types, is that now I have to write %f. I guess I said that also just a few minutes ago. Alright, and it's going to give me which one? Number 2, because I wrote it there, number 2. It's in float. And then let's say build and run. Yep, there. As it in float, it's gonna give me lots of decimal places. Okay, now if I want to write in double, double, in double, then I have to write number and name number 3, let's say. Then I'm gonna put 9.5, okay, because it's double, that's why I can just put it. If I want it float decimal, I can also put it, no problem. But in here, if I put it a decimal, it's not gonna show 0.5 in the output, remember that. Okay, now in here, printf, I have to write where is my speech mark? Oh, it's right there. Okay, now if I want to write here, it's going to be %lf for double, and then I have to write num2, num3 actually, because it's double. Okay, now let's press F9, and then yep, there you go, I got that 9.5. Now for void data type, there's nothing. Now for the last part of the tutorial, I'm going to show you guys about sizes. Now basically this is the size. Now if I just smash it right here, nobody's gonna understand, so let me explain. Okay, so let's start explaining from character. Okay, so character is basically 1 byte. Okay, so if I write it like this, character is 1 byte. Okay, 1 byte is actually equal to 8 bits. That's how compilers see it that way. It's like there are 8, it's like there is 8 1001 binary digit, blah blah blah. It's either 10 in all the cases, and then they see it that way to calculate stuff. If I put 5, they convert this to bits, in other words binary, which is I think 101, and then it goes like that, and then until 8. So like that, like so. So that's how the range is fixed. Now if I put unsigned up here, it's 2 to the power 8 minus 1. In other words, it means that if I want to find range by calculator, it's going to be 2 to the power the number of bits that holds. So in here it's 1 bit. 1 bit is equal to 8 bit. 1 byte is equal to 8 bits. So I'm just going to put 2 to the power 8. Simple. And then I got the range. Now there's a 0 up here. That's why I'm going to minus 1 that. Then 0 to 2 to the power 8 minus 1. That's the range of character 1 bit if I click unsigned. Okay. What do you mean by unsigned, right? Okay. For unsigned, if I want to go here and I want to click unsigned, okay, where is that? Unsigned, there. It's another blue thing, in other words known as keywords. So unsigned, then if I click integer, and then if I want to add something, number is equal to 5, then thing is, here integer, let's say unsigned, then it's going to take 2 to the power 16 minus 1 integers only. So it's not going to take more than that. If it takes it, then there's going to be an overflow and it won't read anything. The compiler won't show anything. So basically that's it. It goes for all of them. For example, let's say integer, there's 2 bytes and there's 4 bytes. It depends on your computer bits. It's either 31 and another one is not sure, 64 I guess, 32 and 64, yeah. So for 2 bytes, we're gonna have, if I click unsigned and then integer in the code block, then it's going to take from 0 to 2 to the power 16 minus 1 integers. That's the range. And if I put sign, that means minus value going to be there. So what I have to do is that 2 to the power 16 divided by 2, then 2 to the power 15 minus 1 minus 2 to the power 15. That means the range goes until that much. It's kind of simple. And for double, as I said, it's 8 bytes. That means, and for float, and it's 4 bytes. So that means that for double, it's actually more accurate, but it takes more spaces. That's the negativeness of it. So that's it for this tutorial. Hope to see you in the next tutorial. And for the word meaning, these are the new ones, tokens, keywords, which are added. I'll give you guys, as I said, I'll give you guys this one after I finished all the things. I'll post it in the YouTube.